Video 4, what was it that Hal Houle knew about the top players of his day? In this video, video 4, we're going to take a look at bridge V placement and the half ball alignment, sometimes referred to as the half ball pivot. Whoa, got to be careful with that one. But it's very natural. It's not what it seems to be. It's a very natural alignment that can be explained very simply. I'm going to do away with the home base alignment for these setups that we've used in previous videos, and I've traded in the thicker perception line for one that's a little bit smaller for perhaps what might be a better visual. So in this first alignment that requires this movement here, this type of visual sweep, well, intuitively, when I see this alignment, or when a professional player sees this alignment, they're going to move this way. You can bet your last dollar on it. There's a couple of things that a pro player very well may not know. They may not be aware of this perception line, but the perception line does exist. But here's what's going to happen that's going to drive some of the behavior, or much of the behavior, of the professional player, visually and physically. You see, for this particular shot, what I know is, what Hal knew, is that the bridge V placement is going to be on the outside of this line. It's going to be on the outside of this line. Therefore, visually, I'm going to be focused on this outside half of the cue ball. Not the inside half, but for this particular shot, the outside half. So when I set up for this shot to do my visual sweep for pocketing the ball in the center of the pocket, and we're talking about center pocket alignments for these videos. So, so when I drop down to pocket that ball, you can see that my bridge V is to the outside of this line. So from this bridge V position, when I put my bridge V to center, it's going to be based on the outermost edge over here that I can see, which puts me into a half ball alignment. In other words, my center tip alignment is based on this edge over here. So that's referred to as it's a half ball alignment, a half ball pivot. So I didn't choose my alignment. The system did it for me based on this outer edge that I can see over here. So when I drop into this shot, my bridge V is tweaked based on this outermost edge that can be seen. Not just from anywhere, but technically from the parallax position, so your eyes can't just be anywhere. On this next alignment, the typical cut alignment, the perception line is about like this. So if you'll remember, I was using an inside sweep with my shoulder rotating this way. So what one's visual intelligence knows that the player may not know, because a lot of this is subconscious, unless you want to bring it up to a knowledge level. What I know subconsciously, consciously, is that my bridge V placement for this particular shot is going to be on the inside of this line. I can bring any professional player here and set them up to look at this shot, and they're going to come into it this way, and the bridge V is going to be on the inside of this line, meaning that their tip placement to center is going to be based on this outermost edge here, as seen from parallax, not just anywhere, but from parallax. So my half ball alignment here has my cue pivoted into a particular position based on this outermost edge. That's why we can call it a half ball pivot. So make no mistake about it. Professional players are not looking at cue ball, object ball relationships and trying to move into the middle of the cue ball between two edges. It's not happening, folks. It's not happening. Aiming, alignment, and vision, all of that can be explained. It can be found, explained to the nth degree in my book, Center Pocket Music, using CTE Pro 1 to improve your pool game. Let's take a look at this last alignment. So the parallax, not the parallax line, but the perception line runs from center to, we're going to call it a quarter, right outside the ball. There are some refinements to what I've been discussing with you, but I'm just trying to keep it to a point to where it can be easily digested. Okay, so there's my home base alignment right there. What I know, left brain wise, is that my bridge V is going to be on the outside of this line. My body knows I'm working with this half of the cue ball. My eyes know that I'm going to place my tip at center based on this edge over here as seen from a parallax position. I'm not moving in with a field type alignment trying to put my cue in between these two edges so I can make the ball. That is not what professional players are doing. That's what Hal Houle meant when he said all the instructors are teaching the game the wrong way. That was including me at the time. So I believed what he said. So I set out to see what I could find out about what he had stated. I didn't believe it or I didn't disbelieve it. I just knew he was honest. So if he said it, I took it at face value. And I worked on it for 15 years. Consequently, I had this book out. I have a truth series, series of videos out on my YouTube channel. So I'm sharing information. So when I set up on this shot from home base, then my body knows, my vision knows, whether I cognitively am aware of it or not. I can explain to you that your bridge V is going to go outside of this perception line. I can explain that the tip position is going to be at center cue ball based on the outermost edge here that can be seen from parallax. And the reason this system works, it's a center cue ball system, but what it does, the alignment takes you to a slight overcut, and the collision-induced throw gives you a nice, professionally, a center pocket entry. So when I take a look at this and I do my sweep here, my bridge V is on the outside of this line. My tip's going to be placed at center based on this edge right here. Has nothing to do with this edge over here. It's a half ball alignment based on this edge. So my cue is aligned according to the system, if you will, the natural system that we're just born with it. This is our visual intelligence. This is what our visual intelligence does on a 2x1 table. This is not a creation. This is an unveiling of what happens with our miraculous vision for solving, aiming on a 2x1 table. So thanks to Hal Houle, who pioneered all this foundation. I took it upon myself to pull together every piece that I could find so that I could explain his work. And then in some cases I was able to refine it. So when I look at this alignment and I do my sweep, it's not a sweep by feel. It's a sweep based on objective aspects of the cue ball and the object ball that lead me physically to place my tip at center based on the outermost edge of this ball. Now, you've gotten a real good look at what it is that Hal Houle came to know. So we're going to wrap this up with one more video, video 5. Thank you.